My name is Angelina Godoy, and I'm the Helen H. Jackson Chair in Human Rights. I teach in the Jackson School of International Studies and in Law, Societies, and Justice.
Okay.
If I had a chance to talk to President Obama, what I would ask him to do is revisit U.S. intellectual property rights provisions in free trade agreements with other countries. For many years, the United States has been advocating for a very rigorous standard of intellectual property rights provisions as applied to pharmaceutical products or medicines. My concern is that we may have erred in siding too strongly on the side of protecting pharmaceutical profits and not included enough flexibilities to allow countries to protect the public health of their populations. I believe this is a particular concern in the region of the world that I've been studying, which is Central America, where many, many poor patients today lack access to the drugs they need to simply stay alive. The United States should be a partner with those countries in seeking positive solutions, not creating more obstacles to access. As it turns out, the intellectual property rights provisions in CAFTA are among the most aggressive in the world. This is because for many years the United States advocated ever more rigorous intellectual property rights provisions in its free trade agreements. This was changed a little bit when the Democrats retook a majority of the U.S. Congress in 2006 elections, and in early 2007 came up with a new trade policy which included some flexibilities to preserve public health interests or to balance public health interests with intellectual property rights provisions. It's that new trade policy that's been applied in the agreements with Peru and Colombia, which were negotiated after the deal with Central America. As a result, though, because Central America came before this revision of U.S. trade policy, they are still today using very rigorous intellectual property rights provisions, among the most demanding in the world. There are particularities of the way that these provisions have been introduced in Central America, which could be vastly improved in the interests of public health. Many small Central American countries do not have a lot of negotiating power when they sit down to negotiate a trade deal with the United States. I think President Obama could send a very strong signal, not only to Central Americans, but to people in countries around the world, that it is important to protect public health, even as we seek to create incentives for pharmaceutical innovation, and that the United States would consider policy prescriptions to protect the public health of peoples around the world as positive developments rather than threats to the intellectual property regime.